This week on $1 Million Auctions, it's a 3-day collectibles sale filled with some of the best toys and advertising memorabilia in the world.
When you look at these toys, they speak to that idea of this very exciting future.
From robots to peanuts, the dollars keep rolling in.
Adamstown, Pennsylvania is considered by most the antiques capital of the world. There are more antique dealers and collectors within a 1-hour radius of my gallery here than anywhere else in the world. Back in the 60s and 70s, they started what they called the farmers markets, where people would come and sell their produce and farm goods. And antique collectors and dealers found out it was a good place to go to actually buy some of these collectibles. That pretty much sparked the whole area.
My wife and I were longtime collectors, and our home was just full of all this antique memorabilia that Danny lived with.
I grew up around the antiques and collectibles industry. My father was a physician. He worked a long week, so on the weekends he would go to many shows and auctions and what have you. So unless I wanted to accompany him to these auctions, I wasn't seeing Dad.
As a young boy, he would follow me to the flea markets, and he just was picking up all this information.
The first thing that got me into collecting was coins at about the age of 6 and 7. After that, I started getting into baseball cards, advertising, toys, just general antiques at a very young age.
And then one thing grew to the next, and then he said, "Dad, I think I want to go into the antique business."
Having grown his passion into a successful business, Dan still loves the thrill of the unknown with collectibles.
We never know on any given day who's going to walk through that door. Can you guys help me liquidate this collection? In the year 2007, I was actually chosen to help sell one of the best mechanical bank collections ever accumulated. There were close to 450 banks. They were sold in one day, and the total final sales price was $7.7 million. And to this day, we still hold the world record for the largest grossing toy sale in history for a one-day sale.
With the 3-day auction kicking in, Dan's fired up to see what these treasures will bring.
I feel great. I get an adrenaline rush. I get excited, and I'm ready for the next deal.
He's go, go, go. He doesn't really rest much at all.
Early on, we knew he loved the antiques, but he also had that extra gift of getting people to believe what he believed in.
He would get interested in anything that was sellable. It was in the genes.
He genuinely brings something that is so dynamic to the collector on every level.
By the way, I'm trying to beat his record of 12.
What's his record?
Well, he was 12 when he started collecting. I want to be younger.
Did you shower this week? Is that like a collection of pen markings, like phone bids since Thursday?
Toys are a huge segment of collectibles, with toy robots among the most desired. Armed with toy expert Tommy Sage Jr., Morphy Auctions is selling an impressive robot collection that some think could even break toy records.
We had a fantastic grouping of robots in this sale, which is probably actually the highlight, the strongest part of the sale.
Robots are nice because if you buy, say, trains and you collect a certain type, you can put 20 on your wall, they all look the same. These all look different. They're all different. They have a different feel to them and a different form, so that's one of the reasons I always liked them. This one is the first one ever made. This is the only pre-war robot. This was made in the 1930s in Japan, and this is a wind-up robot. In the 1930s, this is how they envisioned robots would be, and that by the year 2000, people would have a lot of leisure time because they wouldn't be working jobs because robots would do everything. They really thought that.
There is something that's still hip about that. There is something about that that still feels kind of exciting. There is an innocence to the visions of the future. You think about the future today, you think about a lot of the science fiction generated today, and there's sort of a darkness, there's a pessimism that runs through a lot of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it. When you look at these toys, they speak to that idea of this very optimistic future, this very exciting future. And I think that appeals to people, that sort of innocence, that sort of gleeful innocence, that something cool is just over the horizon.
Well, this is an exceptional collection in terms of the range, but especially the condition of all the robots. And he went to great lengths to get things that looked like they just came out of the store.
This is interesting. This is the tulip robot. It's called the X70, but the robot guys call it the tulip head because when it works, The top opens up and it looks like a tulip. This one is a Thunder robot. This is one of my favorite ones. I just like the look of it. This is so clean and shiny because this is old store stock. This was never sold.
A millionaire Thunder robot opening at 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, bidding at 6,500, 7,000, 7,500, 8,000, 8,000, 85, $8,500 to 9,000. Sold at $8,500, 860, 860.